Okay guys, we're moving on now to the last bit, which is the evaluation. So you should have just finished your conclusion. And remember, it should be related to your understanding of the evidence, scientific understanding. So trying to link that directly to your research question and to the original experiment, what it actually proved, yeah, or what the outcome meant. So now you're going to go into the evaluation, where you probably need to discuss, first of all, these are around the wrong way, the justified discussion of the reliability and validity of the experimental process. The process is the method, how you actually did it, not the data you collected. That was in the previous section. So now you're trying to have conversations about the actual process. Okay, so you're down here. So what were the good and bad things about the method of the experiment, and how did it make it fair or unfair? Or evaluating the reliability and validity of the experimental process. So this is a science writing guide experiment report that's in the Nudgee College science sites, not biology, science, and it's got a general document that tells you more detail about what should be in every single thing. I can't share it with you because it's Mr. Conway's, but it's in the Nudgee science site. It tells you what sort of words you should use. But if you go right down to evaluation, all right, we're talking about the reliability. Reliability refers to how consistently the same results would be obtained if you did it again with the same procedure followed by a different person. So what was about your procedure that made it good or not so good? Explain. So was it reasonable to do 2 belt transects in both areas? How did you do the belt transects? What sort of errors in the procedure would have been made? Could you identify all the plants? Did you dedicate accuracy in all your results, or were you pretty blasé about it and didn't actually make sure you counted every single plant? Those sort of things. Could you get the same results again if you did it next time? Same with your soil samples and your tests in class. There might have been some things in the tests in class that you did that were wrong. One of them was obviously, in a couple of classes, maybe the mixing of the powders, putting the wrong powder in to get the phosphorus or the pH. Maybe you put the wrong one in or got the wrong result. That could be something that could be done again, obviously. That was an error. Might have made some of your results invalid. So that's the next bit. Validity refers to whether your results are a true reflection of a real relationship or just a coincidence. So are you pretty happy with the fact that the process of collecting the data and analysing the data, not the actual data itself, the process was actually quite accurate and valid, or it wasn't? Yep, you need to justify each statement. So it might have high reliability and validity because you had tight controls, you had a wide range for your variables, you had a large number of amounts of data, and so on. Describe each factor with reference to your experiment. If, on the other hand, you believe that your experiments had limited reliability and validity, explain the factors that interfere with your experiment that would change results if it was done again. So you only did each quadrat once, or one person only did it instead of all 3 doing it. You maybe didn't have equal amounts of time in each quadrat, or you didn't dedicate enough time to each quadrat. But if you think it was good, then they'd say that as well. So that's the evaluation of reliability and validity. And the last section, evaluation, is to improvements. So 2 or 3 improvements to the same experiment, to the way it was done, the process again, or the method. Yep. So if you had uncertainties and limitations, you need to say how these improvements would actually make it easier to answer the research question the next time, the same research question. Plus, you also need to outline 2 or 3 extensions to the experiment. It could be related to this research question. It could widen the scope of the experiment, make it more detailed. Can consider the effect of another variable not considered in your experiment. You might decide to compare another type of forest. There's dry sclerophyll there, obviously we did. There's melaleuca we did, but there's also some casuarina forest only 150 metres away from there. Maybe you want to include another environment, and why would you want to do that? How could it help you? Yeah. Or maybe an extension that will help you give you some better ideas about how to protect that environment, or what changes have happened in there because of human influence. That could be an extension. Okay, so you get marked here on whether your suggested improvements and extensions to the experiment are logically derived. So that would be your evaluation. And as I said before, you can put your conclusion at the end, or you could have your conclusion before the evaluation, just like the sample one. It doesn't really matter, their conclusion's at the end. So go and look at the way that they've talked about their limitations of their evidence, the error, why it wasn't valid, and then improvements and extensions. Okay, look at that. Some of the words in there are quite good too. Okay, so good luck with your IA2. It's due Thursday week 3. Thanks, guys.